Once upon a time, in the world of aviation, there was a plethora of ambitious aircraft designs that promised to revolutionize the skies. Some of these designs were bold, some were beautiful, and some were just outright bonkers. However, not all of these designs made it past the drawing board, and some never saw the light of day. Let's take a look at some of these ill-fated designs and find out why they never made it off the drawing board. The first plane on our list is the Lockheed Martin L-2000. The Lockheed L-2000 was poised to compete with the Airbus A300 and Boeing 767. Unfortunately, this plane never made it off the ground, and there are a few reasons why. First and foremost, the L-2000 was just too darn expensive. Besides, it turned out that despite attracting several orders, the L-2000 struggled to find the necessary financial backing to get off the ground. And let's face it, even the most innovative designs can't soar without a little cash in the bank. The increasing popularity of smaller, more efficient aircraft put the final nail in the coffin for the L-2000. In the end, the L-2000 may have been ahead of its time, but it will always be remembered as the largest commercial plane that almost was. Next is the McDonnell Douglas MD-12. The MD-12 was planned to be a long-range, wide-body airliner that could accommodate up to 600 passengers. Unfortunately, it turned out that the MD-12 was just a bit too ambitious for its own good. With its sleek design and cutting-edge technology, the MD-12 was shaping up to be one expensive bird. But despite its impressive specs and innovative features, the MD-12 just couldn't attract enough orders to justify putting it into production. And you really can't blame the airlines, who were more interested in saving money than breaking new ground. The third plane promised to be the biggest and baddest plane in the sky, the Boeing 747X. It was designed to carry up to 660 passengers and would have been the longest commercial aircraft in the world at the time. But why was this mega plane grounded before it ever had a chance to soar? Well, it turns out that the 747X was just a bit too big for its own good, as it was shaping up to be one massive machine. And let's be real, who wants to fly on a plane that's so big you need a map just to find your seat? But who knows, maybe one day we'll see the 747X in the skies after all. Until then, it'll remain a quirky little footnote in aviation history. Let's move on to the next plane, the Boeing Sonic Cruiser. You see, the Sonic Cruiser was going to be the jet setter's dream come true, with promises of cruising at Mach 0.95, shaving precious hours off long-haul flights, and making the sky a whole lot more exciting. But as it turns out, sometimes dreams don't always come true. The aircraft faced headwinds in the form of sky-high fuel prices and increasing concerns over emissions, causing airlines to reconsider their priorities and opt for more fuel-efficient options. It became clear that people were more interested in saving a few bucks on gas than shaving a few hours off their flight time. So, unfortunately, the Sonic Cruiser never made it off the ground and was eventually grounded for good. Next up, the Hawker Siddeley HS-141, a sleek and stylish bird that never quite got its wings. It's a tale as old as time, a manufacturer with big dreams and an even bigger aircraft, but a market that just wasn't ready for it. You see, the HS-141 was ahead of its time, being able to fly vertically with 16 fans built into its wings. But its cutting-edge features and designs simply weren't in high demand during a time when the aviation industry was focused on efficiency and affordability. Eventually, the 1970s oil crisis put this fuel-guzzling beast to pasture, as it was thought to be simply too expensive. Coming in as the sixth plane on our list, the Boeing 2707. The supersonic beauty was set to revolutionize air travel, whisking passengers across the skies faster than a speeding bullet. However, despite its impressive specs and groundbreaking design, the 2707 never made it past the prototype phase. You see, the 1970s were a time of economic turbulence and rising fuel prices. These factors caused airlines to scale back their spending and prioritize efficiency and affordability over the cutting-edge features offered by the 2707. Add to that the growing concern over the sonic boom produced by supersonic flights, and the 2707 suddenly found itself less attractive to both manufacturers and airlines, ultimately leading to the cancellation of the project. The seventh never-built plane is the Tupolev Tu-334, a workhorse of an aircraft that was born to fly but never quite got off the ground. It was intended to be a replacement for the aging fleet of Tu-134 and Yak-42 aircraft and was designed to be a jack-of-all-trades, with plans to serve as both a regional jet and a short-haul passenger plane. The Tu-334 was designed to be a modern and efficient aircraft, with features such as a glass cockpit, fly-by-wire controls, and advanced aerodynamics. It had the versatility to adapt to a changing market, but unfortunately for the Tu-334, the market wasn't the only thing that was changing. With the rise of more modern and efficient aircraft, the Tu-334 started to look a little bit like a horse-drawn carriage in a world of sports cars. Airlines were simply no longer interested in a plane that was, let's just say, a little long in the tooth. Next up, the Boeing 7J7, a plane with so much potential and so little luck. The 7J7 was ahead of its time, as it was designed to be powered by advanced turbofan engines, which would have provided better fuel efficiency and lower emissions. But, as they say, timing is everything, and the 7J7 simply came along at the wrong time. With the rise of low-cost carriers and budget-friendly options, the market for high-tech, high-dollar aircraft like the 7J7 was rapidly shrinking. Airlines were more interested in planes that were cheap to operate rather than planes that were cutting-edge. So the 7J7 became a victim of a rapidly changing market and a lack of interest from the very airlines it was built to serve. Another plane that was never built is the Bombardier C Series, also known as the Airbus A220. The A220 started its life as the Bombardier C Series, a regional jet with big dreams and an even bigger price tag. Despite its impressive specs and sleek design, the C Series struggled to find a market, with airlines shying away from the high cost and uncertainty surrounding the plane's future. But then, like a phoenix rising from the ashes, the C Series was reborn as the Airbus A220 thanks to a much-needed investment from Airbus. The C Series first flew in 2013 and was expected to enter commercial service in 2014. However, the program encountered several delays and setbacks, including production and certification issues, as well as a lack of orders. The last plane that never took off is the Sukhoi Superjet 100, also known as the SSJ-100. The SSJ-100 was intended to be a modern and efficient alternative to the aging regional jets that were in service in Russia and other countries at the time. It was designed to carry up to 100 passengers and had a range of around 4,500 kilometers. The SSJ-100 first flew in 2008 and was expected to enter commercial service in 2011. However, the project encountered several delays and setbacks, including financial difficulties and technical issues. The SSJ-100 did eventually enter service with a few airlines. However, it struggled to gain a significant market share as the aircraft failed to meet the expected performance and reliability standards, and also due to poor marketing strategies from the manufacturer. Additionally, the geopolitical tensions between Russia and other countries also affected the sales of the aircraft. As a result, the SSJ-100 program was ultimately canceled, as the manufacturer was unable to secure enough orders to keep the program financially viable. And so, that tops our list of the 10 never-built commercial planes. All of these whimsical aircraft designs may have never made it off the ground, but they will always remain a testament to the boundless imagination and unyielding spirit of innovation in the aviation industry. And who knows, maybe one day the technology will catch up and we'll see these fantastic creatures soaring through the skies.